But the gap can be identified if there is a very unbiased benchmark. That's the real problem in Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mrs. Chairperson, who has already given me the opportunity to share this research. But this research, unlike the rest of all of you, is mostly qualitative. Based mostly on the experience and also projects were conducted in different places. I'm aware that I'm the last, so I'm the oldest too. Hopefully you're not losing your energy to spare for the last 15 minutes. My title is, I'm representing the Asian Institute of Applied Learning, so mostly doing research and training and certification in industry. Okay, and then what is exactly training needs assessment? So we often use these terms very openly in different industry or government institution, and many decrees or government regulation which state that all training should be conducted based on the result of TNA, training needs assessment. This one is a formalized process in which recognize gap between current and historical identified, then prioritize as to their importance through a cost-benefit analysis, and then ultimately selecting the most important areas for elimination or reduction. And the last one is deployed. So TNA is deployed to determine if training is the best intervention to a workplace problem or a change program. Okay, next. Impact on human resource development. Involve a number of unresolved understanding related to the purpose and practice of instituting this sort of analysis. The following question inevitably arise. What are the issues of implementing TNA under these decrees? And then what do these decrees actually state in summary form? And how are the TNAs intended to be conducted? And what are the current tensions which appear? This question really creates thinking of paradox and dilemmas, actually, because we will see as we go along. Next. This is the area where TNA came into play, a meaningful engagement between industry needs, the industry including government institutions, of course, and then training and education programs, which is where you work in universities or polytechnics or schools, certification and accreditation. Look at the middle. This is the meaningful engagement and congruity between each developmental activity. So, from this illustration, that three of aspects here should be interrelated, and then the focus is on through meaningful engagement. So I give you the example, one of the 6 polytechnics, the best polytechnics in Indonesia is Polytechnic Manufacture in Bandung. Has a very good engagement between polytechnics and industry. Therefore, after graduation or before even graduation, the employment rates of the graduates is 150%. 150%. Because my son just graduated last week, graduation day, and then the director stated that, including the general Directorate General is there, stating that the result of this engagement is 150%. It means that one graduate is required but more than one companies. So, very good. Yeah. Why? The engagement is determined by how the polytechnics or the school or the university engage with industry. They try to find out what are really required by industries, and they develop curriculum including knowledge, skills, and attitude required by the industry, and put into the curriculum in school and put into practice. Next. This is the example, but the current practice in an impact. Interrelated aspect, the first one is respect for the current national and local regulation. There should be respect, otherwise we cannot use this as the benchmark. Number 2, enhancing the quality of existing human resources. So there is an ongoing development all the time, because we cannot stop. Maintaining and increasing the quality of network between school, higher education, and training institutes. Next one. Okay, this is the training cycle. And we are discussing this one, this stage only, the performance needs analysis, or training needs assessment, or training needs analysis. There are so many different. And as I mentioned earlier, that the course design, curriculum, syllabus, and training materials are developed based on the gap here. But the gap can be identified if there is a very unbiased benchmark. That's the real problem in Indonesia, not only Indonesia actually, but the Asian countries. So they fail to determine the unbiased benchmark or standard. We call it standards. Next. Okay, I think this one is already discussed. I have already, we as a team have already done several training needs analysis in different sectors, including government sectors, and then industries, and also in schools, in universities. For example, in local bank, this is a state-owned, local government-owned banking, and at the time we just visit one of the banks, and I asked whether the training they conduct is based on training needs analysis, and they say yes. How did you? I asked how they did it. They just said they distribute the questionnaire to everybody, and then let everybody just tick what they want, and then based on that want, and then we conduct the training. So is there any effect on improving the performance at work? They said no. So it's not properly conducted, but they do it. Yeah. Next one. The same, I think. The other one probably which is not over here, is the university. As you know that university now, or higher education, planning to develop the first party certification body, LSP. Are you familiar with it? And then to make sure that the graduate will be ready for work after graduation. The problem is that the certification schemes from the NSP should be based on SKKNI, as earlier mentioned by Professor Iwan. Sorry, at that time he said KKNI as SKKNI. However, the curriculum is not based on that. So there is a mismatch between what is SKKNI, which reflect the needs of industry, with the curriculum that's developed in the university or in the colleges. Next one. Or there is one also, the donor funded, because we did a research in 2007 on training needs in the local governments, depending on their respective needs over there. The problem we have conducting training needs analysis in the local government, especially in the eastern part, when we are interviewing the respondents, which is mostly kepala dinas or the agency, head of agency, they don't even know what is the vision and the mission of the organization. So how could I get the proper data for formulating what they need? Sometimes we need to find the right person to get the right information. Otherwise, the TNA has no meaning at all. Next. Oh, the last one, yes. This is a closing remark. Conduct TNA approach from unbiased perspective. So this is a suggestion that if you conduct TNA, make sure the benchmark is clear. What the industry, what is your institution really needs, that should be very clear, not biased. Number two, TNS carried out to meet training requirements of an organization rather than meeting individual training expectation or requirements. So want and need is different. Want is from individual, which can have nothing to do with the organization or nothing to do with the organization. But need is based on the organization needs. The last one is, if TNR is not taken care of, TNR is becoming more formalities than self-justifying system. Mostly, we conduct TNA, but no impact on on competency, no impact on the performance of the institution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any question?